So there certainly are some just absolutely insane things currently happening to Clover Health Investments stock again, literally being up some insane more than 17% since the recent drops of about 16% as some first recovery attempts, however, from the pullbacks after the astonishing 458% jumps we've seen happening just a few months ago. And now also sitting at almost $9, the current gains are actually confirming the extremely strong support level we talked about last time, making some new gaps extremely likely again. But as there still are some crucial aspects that need to be considered here, what we are going to do today is give you an updated insight into what is happening to Clover Health stock and break down exactly whether it is still a buy at the end. And as the analysis in the video is absolutely crucial to consider before buying the stock, make sure to stay tuned. But before we jump right in, just hit that subscribe button down below. And as we'll keep you updated on breaking news and awesome trading opportunities every single day, subscribing would not only help us but also you. So there is really no excuse for not smashing the subscribe button, it's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you feel so. Alright, so let's start talking about the company. And as just mentioned, we definitely have to go through some critical stuff that recently happened to Clover, including some major news in regard to new patents, retail hype and of course the recent second quarter earnings report. And quickly starting off with these crazy second quarter financials before going more in depth into some absolutely crucial things you need to know about the business model right now. Clover Health was actually able to pull some pretty incredible numbers this quarter, starting off for example by bringing in more than $412 million, literally almost $500 million of only revenue, with it also being up 140% when compared to the same time of last year. But the massive growth certainly shows itself, even when compared to the already $200 million in revenue, we are now up 100% since then as well. And with the insane $107 million that they then spent only for staff and general expenses, it quickly becomes evident that the company reinvested a ton of that additional money back into the business. But speaking of this actual business, there certainly was some major growth here as well, especially when it comes to the main product, the Clover Assistant, also making up the origin for the crucial aspects we mentioned a bit earlier, which we'll get into in a second. Quickly going over some key metrics for exactly this Clover Assistant, however, we are now looking at a huge more than 95,000 in total lives under its management alone, having increased an insane 230% compared on a year-over-year basis, while now also being estimated to bring the company in more than $1 billion over the entire year. But as you probably know, and this is also where the mentioned things to consider become extremely important, we're looking here at a highly trained artificial intelligence platform that literally got developed for one thing only, massively improving the treatment of the now even larger client base, mostly targeting Medicare-eligible patients, while simultaneously reducing the amount of work that previously required expensive employees. So Clover Health will only be successful if two groups of individuals actually want to work with it, Medicare patients and clinicians. But if the Clover Assistant can't deliver when it comes to cutting the cost of providing care, the company will literally be in serious trouble. If it does, however, there's some certain growth ahead, with these two very extreme outcomes also marking the current risk when buying the stock for the long term. But in the case of Clover, there's another massive factor that sets the company completely apart from almost any other competition: the enormous spikes in price. And we're talking about gapping up more than 450% recently on extraordinary high volume, making its popularity skyrocket and the company to one of the most heavily mentioned Medicare Advantage insurers of the entire market. And especially as retail traders strongly hyped up the stock on forums like Wall Street Bets, mainly due to the major short squeeze potential it had, before breaking out with short interest at highs of an insane 43%, we were able to see something similar to the significant short squeezes at the beginning of the year, with tons of shorts having to cover their positions and making the price grow exponentially. And combining this hype with Clover's ultra-high growth business model, some future growth is certain if the company can also continue to meet or exceed expectations. Alright, if you like this video and want to support our mission of providing free financial information here on YouTube, please ensure you're subscribed and definitely consider leaving a like. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.